Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get right into today's video. So getting right into it, I will be doing a set of press-on nails. This is actually an order I received. These are the extra long tapered square full cover nail tips from Unigella, I believe. So if you're interested in these full cover nail tips or any of the other ones I've used on my channel, I do always have them linked down below, and if I do not, please comment down below and I will reply to your comment with the link to those full cover nail tips. So what I am doing here is just taking my buffer and buffing off the shine from the full cover nail tips. When doing acrylic nails, you don't absolutely have to do this, but that is just what I'm doing. And then here's an inspo picture of what she sent me, and she did want to like modify a few things. So off camera I did do one of the sets, so that way I can just have that to look at while I'm doing this set on camera for you guys. That way I'm not going back and forth between looking at the photo on my actual phone while recording, if that makes sense. I don't have like another phone or another like some sort of iPad to look at the picture, so I would have to keep going between recording and looking at the picture. So instead I just did that part of the like set off camera, so that way I can just look at that to kind of get the base of it down. So for this first nail here, I am doing a full cover nail using creme brulee from our coffee lovers collection from KAIROSE nail supply. So if you're interested in any of our collections or products, we do always have the link down below in the description box, and if you use code YouTube, it does save you 20% on your purchases. So this order that I received is actually from somebody that has constantly been supporting my press-on business, and she's always ordering for me, and I truly appreciate her. So I was really excited to be doing this set for her. She did want to do like some sort of fall vibe set, so that's what we're doing today, and I'm super excited with how it turned out. So once I am done with this nail, this is what the structure is looking like. Like if you see my previous video where I did like the application on some press-ons, you will note that I kind of fixed everything on how I do acrylic press-ons, if that makes sense, and I did go in depth on how to do an acrylic press-on tutorial. So if you are interested in seeing that specific video of me doing the tutorial, like in-depth tutorial of doing acrylic press-ons, go ahead and check out my press-ons playlist. I know it is in there. So for this next nail, I am using Mocha Dream from the same Coffee Lovers collection and doing a full cover nail on this. I believe this is the index nail as well. So to tell you about like the modification she wanted on the set, as you saw by the inspo picture on the pinky nail, it was more of like an acrylic press-on, an acrylic French tip, where like the nude part was like the smile line and then the glitter was at the French tip part. But she didn't want that. She wanted it to be an ombre like the thumbnail, so that is what we are doing today. And then the other modification she wanted to change was on the index nail here, there's two sets of 3D flowers. There's one at the cuticle area and then one at the free edge area. She did not want the one at the free edge area. I didn't really exactly ask why, and I feel like there was no need to ask why. It is for her, so whatever she wanted to modify and change about the set, that is what I am doing. I just wanted to let you know about the modification, so that way you can kind of like see the difference from the inspo picture compared to what we did for the final result of her set. Now for the middle nail here, I am doing an ombre, so I am taking Mocha Dream and placing that at the top portion of the nail and kind of blending it in towards the cuticle area, so that way when I go in with the other color, it is a nice seamless blend and it is not a harsh line showing there. And for the other color, I am just using the same creme brulee color. I am pretty much using the same colors throughout the set. The only difference is I will be adding a glitter acrylic from another fall collection we had released a couple months back. So yeah. So I will be taking Warm Embers. This is from our Autumn Enchantment collection on KAIROSE nail supply, and I am kind of like applying it diagonally on the nail. It was actually in the inspo picture, so that is what I am doing here. And then after that I will be letting that dry before I go in and encapsulate that nail. And then for the pinky nail and the thumbnail, like I mentioned, we are doing an ombre, so I am taking the creme brulee color and starting by applying a bead of acrylic there and kind of blending it up just gently into the free edge area by mainly focusing on the bottom portion of the nail to kind of have it not so transparent, if that makes sense. And then once I am done focusing on that, I will be going in with the same glitter acrylic warm embers and applying that at the free edge and blending it in towards the previous bead we just applied of that nude acrylic. So I will go ahead and just let you guys watch the rest of the application portion play out, and then I'll come back in very quickly once it's time to encapsulate. So since we have some ombres and some glitter on these nails, you do want to make sure to encapsulate, and for that I am just using our clear acrylic from KAIROSE Nail Supply as well to kind of make sure it's nicely encapsulated and protected, because if we don't do that and we go in and file, it will just file everything away and you'll have to redo the entire design with the glitter and the ombre, and that would just be a waste of time because you would have to go back in and do all that rather than just protecting it to begin with, if that makes sense. So like I said, I am encapsulating all the nails that have the ombre and the glitter. I'm not focusing on that ring nail and the index nail just because they're solid colors and don't need to be encapsulated. But after that, I will come back in once it's time to shape and file. So here's what the nails are looking like once the acrylic application is dried. This is actually the other hand that I did off camera in the beginning of the video. I just figured I can show you me filing this set rather than waiting for the other one to dry. So to file, I am just using my 100 grit hand file and shaping up the entire thing. I do like to shape up the sidewalls and make sure everything is nice and straight. And then I do like to file the cuticle area in a backwards motion, if that makes sense. And then after I have those two sections perfect, I do like to go over the entire surface with a hand file and smooth that out, and then here I like to flip it over and follow the free edge to kind of straighten that out as well. As you can see here, I was kind of having a bit of some trouble here with it sticking to the stand, but I just kind of worked with it and replaced the little sticky stuff on there, and it worked out just fine. So again, with the filing, I like to file the sidewalls, and then here I like to blend the cuticle kind of going up, if that makes sense, or backwards, to make sure that is nice and thin, because if we didn't file that and the customer or the client applied it to their nails, it will look pretty bulky, if that makes sense. And I want these nails to look super natural to the client. So I will go ahead and just let you guys watch the rest of this portion of the filing play out, and I'll come back in once it's time to move on to the next step. So for this next portion here, I'm just taking my mini buffer and buffing over the entire surface of the nail because we are going to be doing just a little bit of nail art, and I do want the surface to be smooth just for that. So again, I am just using this mini buffer and buffing off the surface. As you can see there, I did get off at Amazon, so if you're interested, I will have the link down below. I do earn very small commissions if you purchase anything using my Amazon links that I provide. And then I do like to go in with my fine 5-in-1 drill bit and go underneath the fridge to kind of thin it out from filing with a hand file. And I do have my drill at the speed of 7,000 to 9,000 RPMs when doing this step. And then very quickly, I do like to go back in with my hand file and shape up the free edge and just make it more straight, because sometimes when I go in with that drill bit, it does kind of distort the free edge a little bit. So again, I do want the free edge to be nice and straight, so that is why I'm going back in once more with my hand file. Now this is what the nail set is looking like after the filing has been done. I did go ahead and top coat the ring nail because we are going to be doing a sweater design on there, so I just did that. And then I am using these rhinestones as well for the set. So I am applying a little bit of McCart rhinestone glue towards the cuticle area of these nails, and then I am applying a big, like not super big, but like a bigger rhinestone towards the cuticle portion, and then a smaller one on top of that. And this just gives it a nice, like elegant, classy type of look, I would say. And then after I have those nicely situated, I will go ahead and flash cure, and then I am doing the same exact thing on the thumbnail. So before we get into the thumbnail of like applying the rhinestones, I am doing 2 rhinestones on the middle nail, kind of going on the sides of each, well, going on one side of each of the, going on one side of the nail, or 2 sides of the nails, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it, but I have one up there and one down there. I don't, like I said, I don't really know how to explain it, but I am applying a rhinestone onto those sides of the nails, flash curing that, and then I am applying another rhinestone on the index nail, kind of in the upper portion of the cuticle area here, and this will mark the center for our 3D flowers. So the 2 rhinestones on the middle nail and the rhinestone on this index nail here will be the center for our 3D flowers. And then the 2 rhinestones on the pinky nail and the thumbnail are just there for some more like design, I would say. But after I am done applying the rhinestones to this nail and flash curing it, I do go ahead and put the entire set in the lamp for 30 seconds to make sure everything is nicely like fully cured before we get into the next portion of the nail art. So like I said, we are doing some 3D flowers, so I'm starting off by using creme brulee and forming my petals around that rhinestone on the index nail. I am doing 3 petals kind of going along that, and then as like the inspo picture shows, there's 2 like smaller petals kind of like falling from that, if that makes sense. So I will be doing those as well, and you'll kind of see me struggling a bit for some reason after I do like one set of 3D flowers. Like on the other hand, it came out just perfectly, but once I get to the next one, it just doesn't seem to come out perfect. But I figured I would just leave it in the like camera for you guys and keep the recording, so that way you guys can see that not everything that I do or anything that anyone does is not going to always be perfect. So yeah, I just wanted to leave that in there so you guys can kind of see that I struggle a bit as well. So like I said, it will also be like this nail will also have some petals falling from the flower, so that is what I am doing here. And also this 3D brush is from Nails and Blinks. If you are interested, I do highly recommend it. It's very good quality, and I feel like it helps with my 3D flowers a lot. So if I remember, I will try to leave the link down below in the description box. I am not a brand ambassador with her. I believe she doesn't really have much or any brand ambassadors, but I wish I could be one. I absolutely love her products besides using our KAIROSE non supply products. But yeah, I just wanted to leave that out there. But I will try to remember to leave this 3D brush down below for you guys if you are interested. So as you can see, this is my second attempt at doing this top flower here, like the little petal, and it just wasn't working out good. So I do end up wiping it off, and I do end up just doing it off camera so that way I can focus a bit better. So that is what it looks like here. I did just do that. And then I'm getting into the 3D flowers on the middle nail. I kind of wish I had a darker brown just because I feel like you can't really see the petals and everything like that on camera of me doing the flowers on this nail. But I am just using the Mocha Dream color from the Coffee Lovers collection from Kairos Nail Supply and forming some petals. So for the two like top one, the one on the top and the one on the bottom is going to have like that pointed petal look, if that makes sense. And then I am doing 2 of the rounded petals in the center around those rhinestones, and then I will be doing the same exact thing across the other portion of the nail like around those rhinestones as well. So to finish up the nail art, I am just taking my 25mm liner brush and some classic white gel polish, and I am doing the sweater design. So I'm doing 2 like long lines along the center, the sides of the nail, and I just felt like that one was a bit too much in, so I am just wiping that off and redoing it. And then I am doing some little dashes going in the middle of those 2 lines, and then I will be connecting them to kind of create that knitted look, I guess. I don't really know exactly how to explain that portion. But after I'm done connecting those, I do like to do some dashes along the sides of those longer lines, if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, you will see that I do that later on. And then you want to make sure not to cure the gel polish, because we do want to go on top of that with some acrylic powder to kind of give it that nice textured look. And if you cure that, you won't be able to get that textured look because there will be nothing for the acrylic to stick to. So like I said, I am doing some dashes along those the long lines as well, and I am doing that on the other side. And then I will be using the creme brulee acrylic powder to sprinkle on top of the gel polish. So like I said, make sure not to cure the gel polish, otherwise the acrylic powder will not stick to it. So you can see I didn't cure it and the acrylic powder is sticking to it just nicely. I do like to do this process 2 times. So like I like to pour the acrylic on top, pat it off, and then I do like to go back in again, and I feel like this just gives a nice textured look that the sweater design would have. And I go ahead and cure that for 30 seconds, and then I just wiped off the excess dust or the excess acrylic powder. So now that we are completely done with the nail set, I am just quickly going in with our classic diamond gel top coat and top coating around all the rhinestones and everything like that. You will see that I do go in with the liner brush to kind of go around the 3D flowers here. So for that, I am just using my 6mm liner brush and taking a little bit of top coat and kind of top coating around the petals and everything like that. So that way when I do go in with the actual like brush from the bottle, it is not top coating on top of those flowers. And if you do kind of want to avoid having to do that with a liner brush, I would just recommend top coating before doing the flowers. But I just feel like when I top coat and then do the 3D flowers, it always messes up and it just leaves that like not so pretty look from the acrylic being smeared everywhere. So I do like to just top coat afterwards, but that is just my personal preference. You can top coat before or after. And then for the ring nail, you don't need to top coat that since we did top coat it before we did do the sweater design, so you want to make sure not to. But if your client or your customer does request it, you can absolutely do that. But I feel like the texture just looks so much better if you do not top coat it. But once I am done top coating, I will go ahead and cure that in the light for a full 60 seconds. That is pretty much the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!